Hey, welcome. I'm Martha, and this is Paz Yoga and Fitness. I had a request to do a video on strengthening and stretching for the feet, and I think that's a great idea. It is a body part I honestly don't think about as far as like, ooh, I should film a class all on feet. But your feet do a lot for you throughout the day. They hold you up. My feet take me miles and miles and miles over the week and running and just a lot of impact. So the feet are really important to take care of. So I thought I would take you through a few of my favorite strength moves and stretches for the feet, but also getting into kind of ankle mobility as well, which I think if you're going to work on the feet, you've got to kind of work on the ankles too. But really, I could, you think about it, but then it's like, well, if your calf is really tight, chances are, your feet are tight, especially this band that we have right here that causes a lot of issues. It can flare up, and now we have plantar fasciitis. And that can actually be caused because we have tight hamstrings and then tight glutes and tight lower back. So it's all connected. So what I've learned over the years of being injured constantly is even if the pain is showing up somewhere in this area, chances are it has something to do with maybe up the kinetic chain somewhere else. So it's not always kind of where the pain is showing up. So with that said, if you are here because you are experiencing pain, seek out a physical therapist. In Beaufort, we've got so many wonderful therapists. Carolina Sports Care, Cora, we got, we have even Okatee Wellness Center. We've got, anyways, I could go on and on and on. There's just a ton that are just wonderful. And then we've got, if you are looking at this and you are a local runner to Beaufort, we've got Lauren Linus, who is a personal or physical therapist, but she specifically kind of looks at runners, and she'll go through and do your run form and things like that. So highly recommend her as well. And if you're not in my area, I'm sure you've got all these people too, all these resources as well. So seek out first, kind of from that medical fields just to kind of rule out any issues. But then, find a massage therapist. So again, in my hometown, we've got many wonderful ones. My favorite being Natalie Clark. But again, there's so many wonderful massage therapists in town. So that's also a great idea, is to get massages regularly. But for this video, I'm going to use 2 yoga blocks and a towel. I'm pointing to it. It's right here. You can't see it. And then I'm actually going to grab a chair, and I probably will use a wall too. So I want to first start out, and I don't know if you can see me. And in fact, I might just change the camera down, so I'm going to be headless, but this way you can really see my feet and what is going on, perhaps. And maybe I'll go this. I don't know. All right, so I don't know if you can see this or not, but I want you to see if you can pick up your toes and spread your toes. So yoga is a wonderful practice because in yoga we do this. We pick up our toes and we spread our toes. So in fact, I actually might grab my chair. You might get a better view if I am sitting for this. You could continue to stand. I just feel weird being headless. Really need a cameraman. I've always said that. I'll be able to figure out technology a little bit better than what I've done. Of course, now you can. So I'm just going to do it right here. So maybe you can see me, but you're picking up your toes. So I've got my toes flexed, and then I'm spreading them. And then you can relax and then pick them up. So again, if you're standing, you're picking them up off the ground, and then spread, and then relax, and then pick them up. You can do this in a chair with me too. And release. And we're just going to grab that big toe and kind of flex it, kind of bring it forward, and then you can stretch it back. So the big toe works really hard. And we're just going to work that big toe, just going to get a good stretch. And you can do the same thing with the other toes. I really like getting my fingers between my toes Feels really good. And then again, you can kind of bring your toes forward and then back. And as you bring your toes kind of back, you're also getting this nice stretch in the front of your foot too. Do that a few times. Got a towel. We're gonna grab that towel. I'm just gonna scooch back a little bit more. And you can do this standing or seated with me, and you're gonna put your foot on the towel, and you're going to kind of move your toes. So you kind of crunch the towel up. You do that a few times and then spread it back out, and then work on it and crunch it back up, kind of almost like a cat, like kneading it. So you get it all sort of bunched up, bundled up, and then you can spread it out. You do that a few times. And then you could change it up by saying if you can grab the towel with your foot, pick it up, and then bring it back down, release, grab it, pick it up, release. And do that a few times. That's a great, so you should feel that strengthening going on in your feet, your foot. It should feel pretty tired. Like I can feel that. So I'm going to get up now. This is where I'm going to grab my 2 yoga blocks. Great stretch for the foot here. You're going to tuck your toes and you're going to sit back. So if you need for right now to come up here because it's just too intense and too much. So again, if this is, you're new to this stretch, too much, too intense, maybe you stay here for a breath or two and then you relax, get out of it. And again, you can come here, you can even come here. But we're going to add on to this, getting into ankle mobility. And you're going to, and you can use the blocks, and you're going to come back here. So your feet are flat, booty is off the ground. And then you're going to come forward back to where we were. And then you're going to, you can walk the blocks back too if it makes more sense for you. You're here. And then forward. And walk them back. Get those feet flat. So you should really feel that in those ankles, pretty intense, depending on how tight you are. And then do this a few times. And you don't have to use the block at all. That scared me. I had a little notification come up. But maybe, you know, maybe you've got flexibility and, you know, in your ankle, and you don't have to do the block. See, I fall. All right. It's getting really burning. So, but when you're done and you're good, you've had enough, you can kind of shake your feet out. And then from here, I want you to take a low lunge. Okay, and again, you could use your blocks. The blocks bring the ground up a little closer for you. And you're going to come, and I just want to make sure you can see. So for right now, I'm going to put my blocks to the side. But you're going to come forward. And typically, coming forward, you always kind of want to, when you push forward in those hips to get a good hamstring or a hip flexor stretch on this other side, you want to keep your knee right over your ankle. But to get some mobility, kind of flat flexibility in the ankles, if it's okay in your knee, I want that knee to go way beyond your toes, but keep your heel grounded. If this is okay in your knee, go for it. See, my knee is way beyond my toes, keeping my heel grounded. Breathe. All right, and then it's release. I'm going to come on up, and then you would switch sides and do the other side. And the same idea, coming into the wall, and you can press against the wall with straight legs. Right now, and you're getting a good stretch in the calf. So it's a little higher up the leg than the foot and the ankle. And then from here, if you can bend into your knee and press your heel down, you might start to feel this in the lower calf, more in the ankle. Then you can kind of straighten out and bend. Right. So that's another thing you can do. Another one is just simply keeping that low squat. And you could use your blocks again for this. And see if you can keep your ankles grounded. Again, getting that flexibility, that stretch there. And roll it up. And then besides that, I think also a really good tool, if you don't have one of these things, just a simple tennis ball, but you would roll your foot against this. And I keep this actually under my desk. And so when I'm working at my desk, I just simply roll my feet on it. And so that's also a wonderful idea. Again, a tennis ball would work. Even if you had like the massage gun or a massage stick. So that's also a wonderful idea to get the feet massaged out. All right. So we worked, I showed you a few little stretches, kind of pulling on your big toe and your other toes. We did that, stretching out also the front of the foot as we brought the toes forward. We scrunched up the towel. We scrunched it up and picked it up. So those two separate moves are really working and strengthen your foot and your toes. We got onto those yoga blocks and we stretched really the bottom of the foot when we sat on our heels with our toes tucked. Actually, let me do a counter stretch. So to go back to this, I just thought about it. A counter stretch would actually be sitting on with your feet grounded and you're sitting back. And if you, and again, you could use your blocks or your hands, you're going to lean back. And if you can pick up your knees, really great stretch for the front of your feet. So we did that. We did the low lunge where our knee comes way over our toes to get that flexibility in the ankle. And then we pushed against the wall again to get some ankle flexibility and also getting into the calf a little bit. So I hope this helps. I hope this is exactly what you're looking for. Again, if there's pain in your foot, please, please, please seek out a physical therapist or even, a doctor. Get massages regularly, do yoga, and then you can go through some of these stretches as well. So you got to take care of those feet, really important. So again, I hope this was helpful. Always just drop some comments to let me know what other workouts or moves that you would like to see me demonstrate. I always love these comments, love getting these ideas because often I don't think about what to do. So it's always super helpful. All right. Well, I'll see you back here soon. Take care. Bye.